Hey everyone, welcome to Creative Architects by Castos. I am your host, Angela Hollowell, and today is a joyous occasion, okay? We know it's the end of season 1, but we're going to celebrate that. We're not going to be sad about it, so let's jump right in. I think this has been just an incredible response to a brand new show, introducing my audience to me on a brand new show, getting in front of Castos' already established audience on YouTube. This podcast is brought to you by Castos. One of the best ways to learn something is to go directly to the top people in that field. At Castos, we do just that. Each episode of Creative Architects features creators who have taken their work to the next level. We hope that by watching and listening, it will inspire more creativity in your work. Along the way, Castos wants to be a part of your creative journey. From our suite of tools, feature-rich hosting platform, and even our production services, we're here to help. Connect directly with us by emailing hello@castos.com or by clicking on the link in the description. Thanks for tuning in. It means a lot. I hope you enjoy the show. Okay, so I'm going to break this video down into 3 sections. First, I'm going to kick it off with just some stats that obviously fluctuate and change, but as of the making of this video, these numbers are pretty much accurate. The second section is going to be a little bit about the development of this season, which I think was really interesting to craft with Castos. And then last but not least, I want to talk about some of the things that I learned and hopefully some things we can look forward to in season 2. So kicking it off with stats, this season was 12 episodes. 9 of those were interviews. 3 of those were solo episodes. Had a lot of fun doing all of them. A lot of great variety, a lot of great different industries and backgrounds. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think you did based on the stats on social media. So on Twitter, we had over 20,000 views, which is incredible. Between me and you, I think we can hit 25 by the publishing of this video. So don't let me down. Head on over to Twitter. Give some of these clips some love and the recap video, of course. On LinkedIn, we had just shy of 10,000 views. And come on, I think we can hit 10,000 with the recap episode, right? I think this has been just an incredible response to a brand new show, introducing my audience to me on a brand new show, getting in front of Castos' already established audience on YouTube and online. I think that was an incredible response. I'm so happy to see that. In terms of downloads, we had about 300 audio downloads, a little over 400 views on YouTube. And this tracks for me with video podcasts. I believe since they are video first, typically YouTube just does a better job in terms of discovery. And so we've done really well on here on YouTube. So thank you guys for watching if you've been watching. And of course, we can't leave out our fans who have been listening. So thank you guys so much for tuning in every week. It's been incredible to see this response early on. And I think we're going to continue to grow a fan base. And that feels really fun. As we thought about creating this season, there was a lot of experimentation involved. Yes, I've created a video podcast before. Yes, I've been a guest on many other video podcasts. So I have experience with different formats in terms of recording, and also being a guest, seeing how other people create shows has been really interesting. But it's always interesting to start something from scratch and really work with Castos to develop a show that was really going to be in line with the type of creators that they wanted to attract to the platform. So podcasters, newsletter writers, video creators, all of these people who would be great in terms of growing their audience on Castos. I think there was some experimentation with the format, kind of making it a much meatier, kind of 25 to 30 minute segment versus something akin to an hour plus. I think it was great that we kind of kept it kind of bite-sized, I think, relatively for a podcast, and really kept it informative, but also added some personality in there as well. I think that worked really well. Another thing we experimented with was our short clips. I think this was an area that had a lot of room for improvement from my previous show, and I feel like made a really big difference in crafting the brand and like the style guide of the show and the, if you will, visual language is what we call it in the film world, where we really harped on a lot of the colors, a lot of the fonts, a lot of the presentation of the show in terms of music and visual elements from the graphic design of the show. So I think all of that came together really cohesively in the video clips, and I really loved experimenting with those. I think you guys like seeing my face more than I thought you did. So we might play around with those even more in season 2 and make them kind of more teaser videos rather than just kind of like short informative clips from a guest. So kind of adding in me asking questions, adding in kind of, teaser segments and making those a little bit more sexy, a little bit more fun. I think it'd be fun, at least for us to make. So I'm hoping that they'll be well received since I think those have worked really well. Last but not least, we kind of experimented with doing some solo episodes in with the interview episodes. And this was largely due to the fact that I'm, again, being introduced to a new audience. So it was kind of about, putting me in front of the audience and seeing how they were kind of receptive to me and letting them get to know me. And in turn, kind of really been able to link some of the topics that we talked about in the interviews and connect those dots for people who maybe only listened to 1 or 2 episodes or wanted to have a little bit more background and context surrounding some of the topics that we were talking about. And when it comes to, I guess that kind of bleeds into what I learned from this season, which is that people really responded well to those solo episodes. And I think not just because they were getting used to me, but also because it would allow us to tie certain segments of the show together. So it still feels like one show, even though those videos are formatted like a traditional YouTube video. We still had to be cognizant of how people listening were going to receive those videos, making sure that they had the same experience and really taking advantage of the visual nature of YouTube to kind of put more information on the screen to connect those dots and make them engaging for people to watch and not just me talking at you for 10, 12 minutes. So I think those were really fun to make. And I was really surprised at how much people liked them. I wasn't sure how that was going to work out. That was kind of my first time really blending a solo episode with a season and trying to match those topics. So those were all my original ideas. And I was just kind of taking a guess at what people wanted to learn more about. So if you have any requests, please let me know. I'm happy to oblige. I'm happy to incorporate that feedback into a future video or a future episode. Going back to kind of the visual style that we crafted for season 1, we only did one custom thumbnail, and that was for a solo video that I did, the last solo video that I did. And I think that people really responded well to that. And I keep saying responded well. What I mean is that I think people were more likely to click when the video was packaged a little bit differently, even though they may have already gotten used to seeing our traditional formatting on YouTube thus far. And so that's always fun to play around with that. I don't know if we're going to try to create a custom thumbnail for each episode in the next season, but it's something that could be fun. And I think that we could also try to craft something that's consistent and that's still on brand and still in line with our visual style. Just might take a little bit more thinking and prodding. So really excited to experiment with that as we go into the next season. And yeah, I guess what's left is really just a thank you. It is a thank you to all of you who have been guests on the show. It's a thank you to everybody who has tuned in. It's a thank you to anybody who's asked me questions that we've been able to answer on camera and in these episodes. And it is a thank you for supporting us and Castos. If you have not already checked out Castos for your podcast host, I highly encourage you to do so. An incredible platform that's continuing to grow and meet the needs of podcasters like me and hopefully like you as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next season. Or you'll hear my voice, but you know what I mean. That's all for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please give us a 5-star review on your listening app, like this video if you're tuning in on YouTube, and subscribe for more episodes. I'll catch you in the next episode.